It has once again arrived at my favorite time of the year to be doing YouTube, the end of the year top 10 list, starting with my favorite movies of 2018. Pleasantly, 2018 was a year of few disappointments. A number of movies at the top of my watch list made it onto the top 10, and a few that didn't make it but still impressed include Bumblebee, Incredibles 2, and Avengers: Infinity War. And we got some more unexpected hits like A Star is Born and Annihilation. Another honorable mention goes to Gosnell, The Trial of America's Biggest Serial Killer. Not quite among the best of the year, but it's certainly the best overlooked film of the year. I saw as many 2018 films as I could, 108 total, though I've not seen all, so there may be one or two more that could make the list. There's always a movie that gets a release in 5 or so theaters at the end of the year, and I'm unable to see it until weeks later. Last year, that movie was I, Tonya. Had I seen it sooner, I would have added it to my best of 2017 list. Sorry, Split. And this year, that movie is Destroyer. Hasn't yet come around. As it stands for the moment, here are my picks for the top 10 best movies of 2018. Number 10. Kicking off the list at number 10 is Bad Times at the El Royale, a great time at the movies. It's quite a shame that it flopped at the box office, because it's stylish, unpredictable, and filled with subtext and small interesting details. And it's stocked with terrific performances from the entire cast. Dakota Johnson does so well that she's made up for all 3 50 Shades movies. Well, okay, maybe just one, but still, quite a feat. Number 9. My favorite animated movie of the year, Ralph Breaks the Internet. This movie is more than just Easter eggs and Disney advertising, the majority of the time anyway. It's a very worthy follow-up on par with the first Wreck-It Ralph, with commentary on social media that, unlike the Emoji Movie, is clever, humorous, and occasionally poignant. What I loved most about the movie was its mature message about letting friends go when the time comes. As someone who really got into Ralph and Vanellope's friendship with the first movie, and has many times experienced parting ways with longtime friends, this movie hit home for me. Number 8. How often is the 6th film in a franchise the best of them all? Mission Impossible Fallout is a real anomaly. With Tom Cruise once again outdoing himself, this movie piles on one action set piece after another, each one more impressive than the one before. And for a movie that's 2.5 hours, it just flies by at breakneck speed, never wasting a minute of its runtime. Filled with amazing practical stunts and plot cohesion, Mission Impossible Fallout was one of the most fun experiences of the summer. Speaking of which... Number 7. At number 7 was my most anticipated movie of 2018, and it lived up to my hopes, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. This movie gave me a lot of what I wanted. Exciting action, brilliantly crafted tension, a solid story with twists and turns, and packed with so many remarkable scenes. When that Brachiosaurus died as the island was getting scorched, I was an emotional wreck. It was such a beautifully tragic send-off to the park. But at the same time, it made room for the franchise to be taken to the next level. I was literally first in line for Fallen Kingdom on opening night. When Jurassic Park 6 arrives, I'm going to be in the theater before I'm allowed. Number 6. As much as I hated the buzz surrounding this movie, doesn't change the fact that Black Panther is awesome. It may be light on action, though that chase scene in South Korea was great, but it's visually inventive with beautiful production design, it has 3-dimensional characters, and it's politically sane. Isn't it refreshing to see a movie where African history and culture play a role, and at the same time the villain is a guy who thinks that violence is the solution to problems facing minorities? Black Panther is among Marvel's top 5 best, arguably top 3. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Leave No Trace. This was the very last movie of 2018 I watched before putting this list together, and I'm very glad I got to include it. This movie brought to my attention a lifestyle resulting of PTSD after the Vietnam War that I had never known about. It tells a meditative and tragic story about that lifestyle affecting the only person that the suffering veteran can stand to be around. This is an affecting film that really left me thinking. Hardly anyone saw it in theaters, so I recommend seeing it now. Number 4. 3 fantastic flicks in a row is one giant leap for such a young director as Damien Chazelle. First Man was the most absorbing film about space travel since Gravity. Despite the leisurely pace, it's a deeply personal look into the life of Neil Armstrong, with great acting, directing, camera work, effects, audio, and music. This movie unfortunately got bogged down by needless controversy when there are literally tons of American flags seen in it. Number 3. I didn't think that one of the brothers who did Dumb and Dumber could direct something this potent, but Peter Farrelly did it with Green Book. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali are a perfectly matched on-screen duo. They have hilarious and heartfelt chemistry, and they are both deserving of Academy Award victories. The thing that I find very important about this movie is that it addresses stereotyping that can come from people of any color, as we see the unhappiness of a rich black man who feels alienated by people of his own race as well as white people. This is a seriously funny and uplifting road trip movie that I wouldn't mind watching a few times more. Number 2. Every few years or so, there comes a movie where I could swear I'm seeing my own life play out on screen. While watching 8th grade, it was like seeing myself if I was a girl. This film is a collection of moments in a week of a middle schooler's life, and there are extremely few of these moments that don't feel 100% real, due to Elsie Fisher's uncannily natural performance and Bo Burnham's exquisitely nuanced writing and directing. Amazing first-time work for a comedian. Number 1. Very rarely does my favorite movie of the year come out during the first third of that year. After seeing this movie in April, I kept thinking, there may be 1 or 2 movies that will eventually surpass it. Turns out, no movie in 2018 was better than A Quiet Place. Throughout the whole runtime, there's an unrelenting sense of danger, and every minute I was feeling it and fearing for the family living it. A grim atmosphere, amazing acting, especially from Emily Blunt, effective family drama with Catholic undertones, and a variety of frightening scenarios make this a groundbreaking effort for director-star John Krasinski and producer Michael Bay. A Quiet Place is a landmark in horror and visual storytelling, and it is my number 1 favorite movie of 2018. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this list, and be sure to let me know what your favorite movies of the year are, and stay tuned for my top 10 worst movies of 2018. Like if you liked, subscribe for more. This is Pop Culture. I'm Alex Pop.